Good morning. Thank you for joining me. This is Laurie of Laurie's Heirloom Sewing. So today is a very rainy day in the Pacific Northwest, and it kind of put me in the mood to do crafts, which I'm lucky because these magnets I ordered last week arrived. They are especially made apparently for refrigerator magnets. I know that if you have a stainless steel refrigerator like I do, you might want to consider covering your magnet. Yeah, they're very strong. So they're going to hold something on your refrigerator. Now the last time I worked on these, this was done with sewing. The sewing machine stitched these all together, and then I hand stitched the buttons on. So I have this little set. So I've got that Blender's green, and then the watercolor flowers, some more Blender's green, and some more watercolor flowers. And then of course I have a lot of buttons. Here's a button here. Let's turn it that way. And then maybe another button to top it off. So let's just put, so with hot glue in hand, she decided to give it a go. So if I just put a little bit of hot glue in the center, I don't have to glue all the way around. I can just attach, and I don't have to get carried away. Just like literally a little tiny bit. And I don't, seriously, I kind of prefer all of these little pieces to be offset. Having them all perfectly in the middle is, for me, I'm an Aquarian, like through and through, and that is so annoying. I don't like perfection, and I never have, even as a little kid. Which I realize that sounds kind of funny, but what I mean is, if I were outside playing, which that's what I was often doing when I was younger, we had a big willow tree at one of the houses that my dad built every house we ever lived in, and we were renting this house in Chamblee, Georgia a long time ago. And there was a little creek that ran through the back, and a beautiful willow tree, which was my favorite. Oh, it was so pretty. I loved that tree. And I would make these little fairy forts along the edge of that little creek. And they were never perfect. They were, there was something always off a little bit about them. And sometimes there was a young kid back about my age, a young boy who lived across the street from us, and he was determined that, it was going to be some type of an army fort, because that's what you did back in the early 60s, and wanted it perfect. And of course it was mine, and I didn't want it perfect, so I would often go out and mess it up later. And then things would happen. Now, I'm sure there were little frogs and other types of little creatures that lived down there, and I'd come back the next day and something would be different. Either it was torn up, or it was, things were moved around, or I could tell there were little, prints all around it. Oh, it just made it so much more magical that way. Okay, so far I am enjoying the crafting of this refrigerator magnet. I think it turned out okay. I do like it. So the buttons are glued on and the fabrics are glued on. I think really the only thing that's missing is the, you know, the dimension that stitching will give to an art project like this. So if you have, we're going to just take, we'll just do this one first. You have a piece of fabric like this, or if you're paper crafting, and you don't really have a way to trace or make a circle, and you're not looking for perfection, you know, you can visually see this is a circle without going, oh, it's a circle, but half of it is missing or whatever. The way to achieve that is to take any size square-ish thing, paper or fabric, and fold it in half. Now let me, okay. So here it is. It's definitely not square. I mean, this side is kind of cut off at an angle. These sides are longer than the bottom and the top. It's just, it's a rectangle. But we can fold it in half, and then we can fold that in half, like that, so that we have a smaller rectangle. And then we're going to choose this point. This is the center point in the middle. I have glue on my finger. In the middle of the paper or fabric, right? So if we fold it in half and then we fold it in half again, it's that point right there that we're looking for. Just where this fold is, and there's these two folds. This point wouldn't work. This is just 4 pieces of fabric or paper, and then this is just a fold. So we need the one that has the fold and the 2 other folds. So make sure that's where you are. So that corner right there, we're going to fold this either this single fold over to the 2 or the 2 over to the single, like this. Just keep your hand on that point like so. Okay, and then I usually just use my thumb. So we're going to grab on, here's that point that we've been talking about right there. I'm going to take my scissors, and if I'm cutting paper, of course I won't use my fabric scissors, I'll use my paper cutting scissors. And just kind of around the general shape of my thumb, I'm just going to cut like that. And you can get fiddly if you want to, if it's, you know, a little high on one side. Okay, so like that. And then open it up, and you have that flower shape, like the pink gingham here, or not gingham, seersucker. If this isn't what you want, but you are on your way to a snowflake, by the way, fold it back again, fold it in half, and then fold, so you have like that, fold it, here's these 2 and the single, so we're going to fold those together at this little point right there. And trim like that. And when you have a piece of fabric or paper with a print, you can actually take a piece of the print and just use it in your little design. So cutting out shapes is always a good thing to do. on this part you might want to go ahead and put, you know, a good amount. We don't want that coming off. All right. Well, ta-da, look what I found. So let me show you my thoughts. I'm going to put this paper clip on here, and then I'm going to cover it up with another piece of fabric. So I'm going to take quite a bit of glue, like that. And then I'm going to take I need to trim this one down. I'm going to use this ant fabric. I need to make a smaller circle. So I have accomplished that. Okay. Now you know hot glue will burn you through other products. So there's the back, there's the front, and I have a working, usable paper clip on a piece of paper like that. But again, I think it's just, I love fabric as a art medium, so I'm trying to get all these little hot glue strings off of myself. So I have a little piece of silk ribbon right here. So I think what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to take that red thread that's already on my sewing needle, and I just want one thread. I don't want to double this. So I'm going to pull it so that I just have one single thread. That into a knot. I don't want the needle swinging around. So I've got my two threads. I'm going to tie this into a knot. Oh, I thought I had it. There's a lot of red glaring up at me, so my astigmatism, as you guys know, I have a horrible astigmatism. Sometimes it really gets the best of me. Okay. And one more time. And these are sweet. If you wanted to stitch this to, you know, a little girl's sweater, I've done that. Or socks. You know, they're really cute on socks. And the smaller the ribbon, the cuter they look. But there you go. You've got this pretty little bow like that. And then, where's my, oh, I like this one. I think, no, paper clip. Yeah, I'm going to put this right up there at the top of the paper clip. And it just needs a touch of glue. I must have had weaker magnets in the past, because I figured the same amount of glue would work that I've used in the past, and I'm just going to have to tell you that you're going to need to use a little bit more than just a little tiny bit of glue, because the amount of glue I used was clearly not enough. But I'm going to go give this one a test run, and I will let you know what this little piece of paper cardstock back here does, if that helps or not. And then I'm going to go look through if I have any Christmas fabric and see, because that occurred to me when I was in there, how cute it would be to just change them out. You know, these can be my summertime, and then I can have like Thanksgiving, Halloween. I've got birthdays in October, so I could do birthdays in October, and then Halloween, and then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and even New Year. So I'm excited. I'll be right back. The addition of a piece of cardstock to the back of these super strong magnets made all the difference. Not only do I feel safe in sliding them if I need to slide them, but it also kind of cuts down on some of the sticking power to the refrigerator, and they're so much easier to just pull off if you need to pull one off of the refrigerator and put it in a different place. So I highly recommend that you pull out your stash of old received Christmas cards, birthday cards, whatever stash you have, and just cut little, recycle some of that and just cut some little bits and pieces. You can always, put the part that says Love Grandpa on the outside so that when you take your magnet off, you'll have his signature and the fact that, he sent you a card that you are now using. I think it's a great idea. This is all of the DMC number 666 that I have. I bought one skein, and then I fell in love with the idea of doing a little bit of quote unquote red work. This is not the right color for red work.